need to recognize D. Jennings and his work, not only in this project, but for what he's done throughout his life as a mentor to so many in the community and through his leadership at the Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. Today would not have been possible without him. We mourn his passing, but we know with his great smile that he's looking down right upon us and celebrating in this moment. But this facility represents more than just a new building. For a lot of our veterans that know and work with them every single day, they know, you know, that it's a new beginning, a new life to celebrate, a life well lived, but to celebrate the golden years with fellow military veterans. This home will represent men who fought for America's freedom in a different way, and a time when America on the homeland didn't always give them the credit that they deserved. And finally today they will receive some of that credit, and there's much more that we can do to honor their service. So today I'm incredibly proud and honored on behalf of the Texas Veterans Land Board to announce that the Tarrant County State Veterans Home will actually be called the Tuskegee Airmen Texas State Veterans Home. As a recognition of their military service, the squadron flew over 1,500 combat missions, earned more than 150 Distinguished Flying Crosses. Thanks to the efforts of a local historian and fellow Tuskegee Airman, C.B. Rice, we know that the ultimate sacrifice was paid by one of Fort Worth's very own Tuskegee Airmen, Lieutenant George McRundy, who died during the war, but his body never recovered, and we will work to recover his remains. These airmen are known to have fought two wars, one against fascism abroad, but also one against prejudice at home. And the Veterans Land Board unanimously could not be more proud to name the 10th home after the airmen. So today our great state takes another important step toward honoring our military veterans. I think we all agree that we could always do more. To our veterans who are here today, I know many of you are, we say thank you, as well as our first responders. To those who help make this home a reality, we also appreciate you. We'll be watching you as construction continues. To those of you that are here today because you're part of the community and you care, let's get fellow Texans to honor veterans, not just on this day, but every day. Whether it's giving them a job, bringing them into the classroom, or helping them transition into the civilian world as we know. And so I'd like to welcome someone who's been incredibly influential in making all this happen today, and that's Pastor Sultan Cole, the chairman of the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Commissioner Bush, and thank you again, Chaplain Scotland, for setting the tenor and tone of today's monumental occasion. Today is a very special day in the fact that I'm standing in a place where the boy Jennings should have been standing. But because of God's divine providence, it was not so. So it's an honor, and I'm humbled to represent the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce on behalf of the boy Jennings. Again, to Commissioner Bush and the other members of the Veterans Land Board, our local officials, Mayor Parker, who's here today, and to all the veterans who are here assembled in what I would call sacred ground. This is a very special moment for the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, the city of Fort Worth, Tarrant County, and the great state of Texas. So as a proud Fort Worth native, I can't tell you how honored the people of Cowtown are that you chose our city to build the next state-of-the-art Texas State Veterans Home. In addition to this new facility serving the needs of heroes who have given so much to this country, will serve as an economic engine by aiding the further development of the southeast sector. Seriously, there's a passage in the Bible that from Habakkuk 2:2 that says, "Write down the revelation, make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it." We saw the vision revealed, we made it plain, and thanks to a lot of people gathered here today, we can proclaim to the world that something great is happening in Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you.
Next up, I want to thank Councilman Chris Nettles, a lifelong resident of the city of Fort Worth, president of the junior class, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a graduate of Fort Worth's own North Crowley High School. He attended Dallas Baptist University studying Christian ministries. He's a Renaissance man of sorts, businessman, entrepreneur, and community leader, and we're so thankful that the councilman joins us today.
Good morning. It's good to be here this morning, and I have a different story. I came on the tail end. I'm about 8 weeks in, elected for Fort Worth City Council District Number 8. I did have an opportunity to talk about this project in the process of running and being a part of the city of Fort Worth. I had the great privilege and the honor to sit down with DeVoy Jennings at his very last meeting at the Fort Worth Black Chamber of Commerce. And he instilled in me wisdom, knowledge, and his will to see this project come forward. First, I want to thank the Black Chamber of Commerce again, Commissioner Roy Brooks, Judge Whitley, and all those who participated in making these efforts possible. Thank Mayor Parker as well for being here today. And I'm just excited to see what is best to come here in the Southeast Fort Worth.
Next up is County Commissioner Roy Brooks. Tarrant County, as we all know, is one of the fastest growing communities in the entire country, now with over 2 million of our fellow Texas citizens. And over the past 3 decades, Commissioner Brooks has served this county in a variety of roles in addition to elective office. We're privileged to welcome you, Commissioner, and appreciate your work from the beginning on this project.
Second Lieutenant Claude R. Platt. Second Lieutenant Robert T. McDaniel. Sergeant John Flanagan, Jr. First Lieutenant George McCrumbie, killed in action February the 9th, 1944. Flight Officer Alfred Garrett. Second Lieutenant Jacob Greenwell. And Lieutenant Colonel George Hardy, who after the war was stationed at Carswell Air Force Base in 1953 and was assigned to base housing. However, when they found out he was a colored pilot, they denied him housing on the base, and he was forced to live 10 miles away. These are Tuskegee Airmen who grew up in or have a connection to Fort Worth and Tarrant County. These are heroes, and there were more than 30 like them from across the state of Texas. We're having a fight today in America. It's not about policy or priorities. It's about who counts as an American. It's about who this country is about and who it's for. It's about who is us and who is them. There are those who counted the men we honor today as them. These men defended their country with dedication and courage. They so believed in the American promise that they put their lives at risk for a country that didn't count them as full citizens, because they believed in the promise of America. They challenged America to live up to its ideals, to expand its circle of promise. They made America better. And so, through their example of bravery and sacrifice, they have taught us, and we should learn, that there is no us, and that there is no them. There is only we the people. And so, let it be. Before I take my seat, I understand that there are several descendants of Tuskegee Airmen in the audience today. If you are here, please stand and let us recognize you. In addition, present with us today is Mr. C.B. Rice, a retired American Airlines chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen of Fort Worth. C.B. And finally, hovering over today's proceedings is the spirit of DeVoy Jennings, former president and CEO of the Fort Worth Tarrant County Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. Here's to you, D.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think we're going outside of levels of government on this one, but hey, why not? Right, Mayor? Mayor, I want to thank you for your leadership and for joining your work actually in City Hall itself as part of today's, so you should claim some credit, even though you were recently elected. I think we're all excited to see your leadership in the great city of Fort Worth, and we'd love to hear some remarks regarding today's event.
Good morning. It's great to be with everyone. As Commissioner Bush alluded to, it was a pleasure to be Chief of Staff at the time when this project came to fruition. And Dee was actually the first person to call me and say, you're going to get a lot of phone calls about this, and we just want you to push where possible at City Hall. But it really wasn't that hard, because you have a commissioner's court and a county judge that saw the vision and gifted, and I mean gifted, the property that you are sitting on to make this possible, because you believe, that's right, because you believe so strongly to make sure this veterans home is right here in Fort Worth. And I think we're going to make you really proud, as you know, as a former Fort Worth resident. I think Fort Worth is truly the most veteran-friendly and proud community you could ask for, and this home is really representative of that. What does it look like to make sure we're taking care of those, as Councilman Nettle said, have stood in the gap for us over and over again? So my grandmother was a Navy wave during World War II. She met my grandfather, who was an Air Force pilot, and I didn't know this till I was 15 years old, but she was blessed to get to train the Tuskegee Airmen. She became a trainer for those pilots and understanding the apparatus. And as a 15-year-old, she would tell me stories about how powerful that was for her before she had her own children. Both my grandfathers were also World War II veterans. And so this is a really monumental time for me to get to be a part of something like this.
Finally want to welcome Judge Whitley. Judge Whitley, he's a tough negotiator. But that shows that he's represented you well after all these years. We're so thankful that your presence is here, that you helped us close the deal. Land is the biggest line item typically in a project like this, and so without your help and your advocacy, it wouldn't have happened. So welcome, Judge.
Now, those of you who have been around me know that rarely do I have prepared notes. But this, in my opinion, is an occasion that just almost requires prepared notes. I want to thank all of y'all for this. It's a great day in both Fort Worth and in Tarrant County. But more important, it is a great day for our heroes, the veterans of this country. I want to thank Commissioner Bush for his leadership in making this day happen. His work with the Texas General Land Office led to this moment. Commissioner Bush, again, thank you for your leadership and thank you for your dedication to our veterans. It has been said before, but it bears saying again, that America is the land of the free only because it is the home of the brave. Over the course of my career, I've had the privilege to meet with so many veterans who have given so much to our country. One thing I've learned in my interactions with these veterans is even though they have given so much, they ask for so little in return. Too often, that's all we've given them. But not anymore. And not in Tarrant County. The Tuskegee Airmen Veterans Home will be a state-of-the-art facility that honors our heroes. This is more than a place to live. This is a place to call home. A place where old warriors can make new friends and live with the comfort and support they so richly deserve. I want to thank everyone who made today possible. Mayor Parker, Councilman Meadows, Commissioner Brooks, Chairman Cole, and so many others. It takes a whole community coming together as one to make something like this possible. In Tarrant County and all of the cities and all of the folks here collaborate together to do what is best for the community, not just their individual cities. And that's exactly what happened here. Finally, I want to say to our veterans, no public policy is more important than making sure that we honor you. You, in your younger days, you navigated through mines in the mist to keep us safe. In your golden years, we will help navigate for you by giving you the support you need. You are the very best of our country. You are the reason we're free. You are the reason we're secure in all that we do today and in all the conversations and debates. You are the reason we can do that. You are the reason we're here today for the groundbreaking. You deserve a first-class veterans home, and that's exactly what you're going to get. So thanks to every veteran of every war. We thank you, we honor you, and we pledge to fight for you just as you fought for us. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
So let's make this official. To get it done. God bless.
Your grandmother's friend. She was a Navy wave, yes sir. So she got assigned in her volunteer position to learn how to do pilot mechanic inside the plane and teaching pilots how to work the airplane.
Where did she do it? Do you know?
I don't know. I know. I'm going to ask my aunt.
Can I get in touch with you?
Of course, I love that.
Let me tell you what.
Okay.
Some civilian employees have been documented to be took. Since she was a civilian training them, it's possible.
You never know, right?
You never know. And so when I heard you,
She was so proud of her service when she was in the Navy. She got to participate in Veterans Parade.
Oh, okay.
And they put all the women on the, it was just, yeah, it's such an amazing. Nice to
Thanks,
see
I
you.
really appreciate that.
Of course.
I want to see these counterparts here.
Are you
work together.
wonderful?
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good.
Yep, we do all the
Did you hear
events.
what she said?
Yeah, I did.
Her grandma?
You know, yeah, that's
I heard that. I was,
amazing.
whoa, no, don't tell me she's a civilian Tuskegee Airmen.
Wow.
Because if so,
Yeah.
Kermit Weeks owned a P-51 Mustang painted up in a red tail, Ina the Macon Bell, Lee Auction paint scheme. So they made him an honorary Tuskegee Airman. But your grandmother may qualify not to be honorary, but a real
I'm going to ask my aunt
voter.
kept all of her journals. I'm going to ask her for all the journals and I can dig through it.
Okay.
Rhea will give you a card.
Yes,
Thank you so
of
much.
course. Nice to meet you. My name is Maria. I'm their
I see what's right. Glad to meet you.